Are any of the Yieldmax ETFs in Group A actually profitable? Hey everyone, it's Legend. I just want to do a video on Group A. I'm going to show what was actually paid out on Friday and also go through and show if any of these Yieldmaxes in Group A, if they're actually profitable with the price. And then we're going to add in the dividend and see if it's profitable after adding the dividend, just to make sense of it and to see if they are worth getting into. So let's jump right on into it here. So in Group A, we have Tesla, Crash, GUI, YBIT, OARC, XOMO, Snowy, and TSMY. So we'll start off here with Tesla, and I'm just going ahead and just giving it all away right here straight up front. So this blue line here is just the price, and as you can see, the price is down over, this is a 1 year chart, it is down 38%. But when you add the dividend back in, we are up 28%. So what my goal here is to just show with just the price, what is the price action of it? Is it up, down? And then when you add the dividend back in, does it make sense to actually be in it? Is it profitable over the period of time? So as you can see on Tesla here, we are up 28%, almost 28.5% for the year. So price wise, we are down 9%. It is going down in price, but the dividend is paying back more than you're losing. So overall, if you can see a trend line here, if I was to draw a line from the start here to the end date of the latest date here, it would have an upward trend line. So you can see that Tesla overall with the dividend, it is still profitable. Crash, CRSH. For this one, again, the blue line is just the price and the red line is the price plus the dividend. Both of them have a downward trend to it, which is not a positive thing. It is getting down close to that. I mean, it's down to $7.70. We may be seeing a reverse split on this one coming up. Gets below that $10 and it wants to try to do a reverse split on it just to get that price back up. But as you can see here, the percentage down on the price is 61.6%. And when you factor the dividends back in, you're still at a minus 43% on this. Now, of course, it all depends on when you get in, and everything is how far and how much you're down or up. But overall for the year chart here, it looks like this one is on a downward trend. GUI, which the underline being Google, the price itself is on a downward trend. That's the blue line. It is down 25% on GUI. When you factor the dividend back in, you're up 2% for the year. Not a great return on your money. For 2% for the year is not wonderful, but you are up on at least in GUI. YBIT. YBIT here, you can see the price is on a downward trend. It is down 32%. When you factor the dividend back in, which is the red line, you are up 10%. So this one here, not too bad for 1 year to receive 10% on your money. That's a pretty good return, but that price that just keeps going down and down is not a positive thing. Now we are seeing a little bit, hopefully, of a little bit of bottom here, so maybe it's going to turn around and go back up, and then that would only just even more increase the dividend side of things, as far as in that dividend plus the price, which is that red line. So maybe this one here will flatten out and start moving up, but right now the price is on a downward trend, but when you add the dividend back in, it is on an upward trend. So 10% on your money, not too shabby. So OARC, it looks like the price overall is on a downward trend. It is down 17.9%, but when you factor the dividend back in, you are up 24.25%, so 24.25% up on OARC. So as far as in return over a year, 24%, that's a good return. As long as the dividend keeps rising and the stock price itself does not keep dropping down too far, because what you don't want is that to do a reverse split, and that will cut the number of shares you have and then increase the price so that it's more attractable for other investors. But for now, this one with the dividend is up 24%. XOMO, this is the underline of ExxonMobil. This one here, we are about 10% down on the price, and when you factor the dividend back in, that does flip it to a 12% gain. So for XOMO, we are at a 12% gain. It's not too bad to get about 12% for the year, but just curious of what you think. Is that a good return on your portfolio? I know the SPY, you're getting an average of about 12% to 14. So with adding in the risk for this one, it may not be worth getting just 12% on XOMO. But just see what your thoughts are on that one. Before we continue on, I just wanted to say, just don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. It helps the channel out and gets it out to others. Next up is Snowy, SNOY. Now looks like Snowy took a big jump up. So that's going to kind of offset a little bit everything. It's going to skew the gains and the losses some because of that huge jump, because according to this, the price is up 1.5%. Add the dividend back in and it's up 36.5%. But again, that is from the start here to the end. But as you can see with this big jump up right here, that went from about $17.50 to about $21.50. So that big jump will throw these numbers here off. Now, if this continues, then so be it. But with that huge jump up, it shows it as the price and the price with dividend is up. But if you were to happen to remove this section and say that it stopped right here, you would still be up on the dividend, but it would be closer to about $1.50 increase in over the year span. So not so great on this one as far as in even with the dividend added in. It's pretty flat, but like I said, we did have this huge pop here. I don't know if that's going to stay or if that's just going to come back down afterwards. Don't know. We'll find out. Lastly is TSMY. So on TSMY, we have for the year chart, which of course the year chart only being back in August. This one here is a little bit of a newer ETF, but it is down about 6%. And then when you add the dividend back in, it's up 2.9%. Not much, but it is up a little bit when you factor the dividend back into the stock price. But just to show you what I like to see, and I always use MSTY as an example, you can see here for MSTY, we have an up price of 60% over the year. It is up 60%. And when you factor the dividend back in, you're up 281%. So that, to me, that's what I'm looking for if I am going to invest into a little bit more of a riskier, high risk ETF that is selling options to earn the premium. I want to see something like this personally. So back to Group A. Let me slide over to my spreadsheet just to give the nice quick summary of all of the ETFs on Group A. Okay, so here we are on the Group A spreadsheet. I've listed out each ticker, what the underline is, the pay date, which was this past Friday, November the 29th. I'm also calling out what the percent up or percent down it was for the price. And then when you do the price and dividend factored together, is it up or down? Just to give you the overview of it so that you can decide which one looks better to you. What would you get into? Do you have any of these? And would you get into any of these? So as we can see, Tesla price is down 38%. Price and dividend were up 28%. So that one is green. That one we are up. The only one that's actually down is Crash, and it's down 43%, even adding the dividend back in. I wouldn't be too happy with that one at the moment, but things could turn around and change. So it looks like leading the pack here is Snowy, and then following behind it, it'd be Tesla. The one that is down the most in Group A is Crash. Crash being down 43%, and Snowy being up 36, and Tesla being up 28. And the one thing I do want to reiterate is that Snowy did have that big pop, so I would be very mindful of that, because that does skew these numbers as being higher than it has been over the year. So tell me what you like about Group A. Do you have anything in Group A? I personally do not have a ETF from Yieldmax in Group A. I do have YMAX, which pays every week, but I do not have one of the ETFs in Group A currently. I know there's a few out there with Tesla and probably Snowy, but what do you have out there? Do you have any of these? Are you looking to add any of these? Very curious. And if so, what makes you want to get into one of these? Unfortunately, I think Group A is the least of the four in my books. But hey, that's just my opinion. So I'm gonna wrap it up right there. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel out, and it's very much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.